My phone is working overtime. Swipe up, swipe right, but I don't know why. I try to fall asleep, but it hits me like a storm and I can't escape.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania, now ready for the United States Championship. Already Japan awaits the winner. As you look down on this grand scene with Little League Hill beginning to fill up for the second of our 2 games. Huntington Beach, California, the powerhouse from the West. They were expected to be here. Now, how about the Huntington Beach, California youngsters?
They have come here with pitchers and pitchers galore. They've only given up 1 earned run the whole tournament. Their ERA is .26, and part of the 3-headed monster is the kids, Hagen Danner and Braden Salzman. Hagen Danner can't pitch anymore because of the pitch count, but Braden Salzman, he can pitch. He'll probably come in relief or pitch in the championship game tomorrow on Sunday. But today's pitcher, Nick Prado, he's a lefty, and left-handers have dominated against this team from Montana. Nick Prado is the guy that they're going to count on. But you know what? We've talked about their pitchers. We should let all the kids from California introduce themselves. Let's hear from them.
Hi, my name is Eric Anderson. My favorite baseball player is Ichiro Suzuki.
My name is Christian Catano. My favorite baseball player is Orlando Cabrera.
Hi, my name is Justin Sianka. My favorite baseball player is Ken Moore, Gaheen.
Hi, my name is Hagen Danner, and my favorite player is Grady Sizemore.
Hi, I'm Jack Freer. My favorite baseball player is Albert Pujols.
Hi, my name is Stephen Koski. My favorite baseball player is Josh Hamilton.
Hi, my name is Anthony Martinez. My favorite player is Paul Weldon.
My name is Jason Marga, and my favorite player is Albert Pujols.
My name is Dylan Palmer, and my favorite player is Mike Napoli.
My name is Nick Prado, and my favorite player is Joey Votto.
Hi, my name is Braden Salzman, and my favorite player is Evan Longoria.
My name is Rio Takada, and my favorite player is Ichiro Suzuki.
Hi, my name is Trevor Windish, and my favorite baseball player is Torrey Hunter.
A look down at Jeff Prado. His son will be the pitcher today for Huntington Beach. A good baseball manager.
Very good baseball manager, and the manager on the other side, Gene Carlson, a man that really is not overwhelmed by the situation, but still very surprised his team is here.
So here's Zimmer's first pitch of the game. Got the outside corner. That is Rob Rule. And if you're a baseball fan, the umpire's name, R-U-H-L-E, should be familiar. Vern Rule was around the big leagues for about 15 years, and that was his uncle. Line drive, base hit to start things off, goes to the wall. And Hagen Danner, one of the best players in this competition, opens up with a double. Now, you know what Prado told us yesterday. Try to get on the board early. Don't let this game go long before we score. That's the emphasis here.
Hagen Danner hitting .500 in the terms of this point. He has a home run. This turns out to be his second double. A nice swing for him. He's carried a pitching load. Today he can't do that. He'll have to carry the hitting load.
Here's Trevor Windish.
Oh.
And he plays second base. Danner not only is a hitting hero, but he was a pitching hero the other night when he shut down that Pennsylvania team. So he can do just a little bit of everything. Out of play, down the right field line now. And here's the fine second baseman for Huntington Beach. We asked the coaches yesterday, did these youngsters from California play other sports, multi-sports? They said, no, they pretty much specialize in baseball. You can see it watching them play. This is a real fine group of young baseball players. Swung on and missed. Ackelson set the target on that corner, and that's the one thing about Zimmer, or he can hit the target.
Yeah, he's very, very good and very accurate. His dad gave a great scouting report on him. Dad calling the pitches from the dugout.
1-2. Fouled away.
He went away, and then he goes in right there, understanding that at the plate, maybe trying to hit a ground ball to the right side to move the runner up. And both coaches in our meeting talked about the real importance of getting off to a good start, to calming the nerves of the team by scoring.
Took strike 3, and there's one out, and that is Zimmer's first strikeout of the game.
Well, 3 fastballs in a row to get back in the count and then to finish him off. Nice pitch right at the knees, well framed there. Back there by Ben Askelson. the pitching hero that's now the battery mate of Patrick Zimmer.
Nick Prado, and he's a big-time Little League hitter. Steps in there. He'll be the pitcher today. The ball gets passed, and the runner takes third. So Hagen Danner is perched at third base, and that's a wild pitch. Now, talking about Prado, the hitter, this Little League team trailed Northern California in their regional final in San Bernardino. This youngster right here hit the triple that ignited the rally. Then a two-run homer by Kotkowski, and they went on to win, and that's how they got here to Williamsport. So this is a fine athlete at the plate as Zimmer stays up high and tight on him. They're going to be very careful against this bat.
As you watch him hit, very precise movements in his swing. The way he sets up, he looks very much like a professional hitter. And his dad, the manager, who's helped coach him along the way. Mr. Prado has been an outstanding baseball coach for his son and for others.
Right foot about 6 inches from the line.
Hustle back, Ben. Here we go.
They're moving up so far in the box. Jeff Prado and his other coaches want them up in the box. They want to make sure that the hitters don't stride out of the box. So they're moving them before they would hit the ball into fair territory and be out of the box.
2 balls and no strikes from Zimmer. Swung on foul. We have seen so many outstanding performers in this Little League World Series. I look out, I see young Zimmer for Billings and his teammate Cole McKenzie, who pitched so well when he was in trouble the other night against California, out at shortstop for Billings today. And here comes the pitch now from Zimmer. They set up outside, and they got it.
A little delayed call there, but got the strike.
Rob Rule now lives in Madison, Wisconsin. For several years, he was stationed in Great Falls, Montana. Ground ball to shortstop, and McKenzie up with it. They'll concede the run. So California puts the first run on the board, and that's the first run they've scored against Montana in this Little League World Series. But there now are 2 out.
Well, they left 11 men on base in that extra inning loss where Ben Askelson hit the home run the 7th to beat him. Here, they pick up a run that had on base finally.
So here comes Kotkowski, the home run hero of the dramatic win against Northern California in that regional final. 6th inning, they pull it out.
Ball.
Going back to Rob Rule, he actually married a girl from Great Falls, and now he lives in Madison, Wisconsin, and he's an electronics tech for the Federal Aviation Administration. Lined over the first baseman's head, and it'll fall in for a base hit. He's going to try to go for 2. And he hustles in. Kotkowski hustling for a double.
Patrick Zimmer does a great job. He keeps throwing strikes. But Kotkowski with a double down the line gets jammed a little bit, but really makes an exceptional play reading the ball and the fielders and getting to second base.
Jason Mayorga, the first baseman, steps in for California. So in both games, or we have seen the loser of the first game of this World Series put the first runs up on the board.
Yep, turn the coin over.
Foul back, and it's 1-1.
Even though Mayorga is hitting down in the order in the 5th hole, he's been one of their hottest hitters here at the tournament. He's hitting .500 here with 3 hits and 6 at bats. So he likes to use the real loose hands on the bat, make it a little quicker.
Nice block behind the home plate by Ben Askelson. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
The California kids scored 21 runs in their first 2 games, and they were just dominant. Didn't give up a run. 21-0 outscored their opponents.
Swung on and missed.
Then they ran into these Montana kids. They didn't get any. And then they beat Pennsylvania 2-0. The bats came alive a little bit, but not the way they're used to playing out in California when they went through the regional and their district.
Strike 3 is called. That is the 2nd strikeout for Zimmer. But California puts the first run on the board.
One solid hit is all. One solid hit.
Yeah, hey, keep battling. Hey, good pitching. All right, hey, here we go. Hits on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's that?
You got to pitch one side.
Exactly.
ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Little League World Series on ABC, presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great. Expedia, where you book matters. New York Life Insurance Company. And Subway Restaurants. Get a Subway Fresh Fit for Kids meal today.
I look down on our gorgeous scene, and what a Little League World Series this has been. And these delightful youngsters from Billings, let's have them introduce themselves to you.
My name is Ben Askelson, and my favorite player is Josh Hamilton.
My name is Jack Campbell, and my favorite player is Andrew McCutcheon.
Hi, my name is Sean Jones, and my favorite baseball player is Joe Mauer.
Hi, my name is Connor Kickbush, and my favorite baseball player is Carlos Gonzalez.
My name is Pierce Kurth, and my favorite baseball player is Carlos Gonzalez.
My name is Ian Leatherbury, and my favorite player is Mark Teixeira.
My name is Brock McDonald, and my favorite player is Albert Pujols. Hi, my name is Andy Mayo, and my favorite player is Derek Jeter.
My name is Cole McKenzie, and my favorite baseball player is Buster Posey.
My name is Dawson Smith, and my favorite player is Adrian Gonzalez.
My name's Gabe Sulcer, and my favorite baseball player is Derek Jeter. My name is Patrick Zimmer, and my favorite baseball player is Joe Nathan.
And look at what showed up way up across the, oh, it's across the street up high. Somebody put a balloon up there. It says, "Go Big Sky," the name of their little league from Billings, Montana. And there, of course, is the state flag. And many of the mothers and fathers are here. And we've got some cowboy gear down there. Billings, of course, is probably more of an oil town than anything else. A couple of refineries in town. Now, look at that. There have been only 22 Major League Baseball players born in Montana and 2,000 in California. Combined home runs, over 45,000 by the state of California. 206 out of Montana. Oh, yes, the All-Star appearance, 751 California, and 3 all by Dave McNally. The late Dave McNally, who had a brilliant career with the Baltimore Orioles. His statue now stands outside the delightful new park out in Billings, where old Cobb Field used to stand. So here we go. Prado right back on the first pitch to him, and there's 1 out. Patrick Zimmer did not wait, went after the first pitch and hit it right back at Prado. Now, Prado dominated him in that first game.
Nick Prado, very pretty left-hander, precise movements, great athleticism. He shows it even with his glove. Very poised out there. He had a dominant pitching performance against Montana. Only for the 4 innings. The loss came in the 7th.
So here comes the youngster world that he's one of your favorites. There's this Connor Kickbush. He can't be the smallest. Did we give that to the
He's
Japanese
the second smallest. Suzuki, Kaito Suzuki is the second light, the smallest and lightest, 68 pounds. But this young man, the best quote of the Little League World Series from Connor Kickbush, when he asked his mom through the fence, "Mom, it's hard to hit when they throw faster than you weigh." He weighs 74 pounds. Some of these kids are throwing upwards to 80 miles an hour.
That is the comment of the Little League World Series. That's a Hall of Fame comment for this competition. And Connor will try to catch up to him next time as he's down swinging. And here comes this left-hander. Billings has not faced. If you were with us the other night, we made the option. Laurel, of course, dug out some numbers. They just have not looked at left-handed pitching. Cole McKenzie was able to get a double, and that was the only hit off him. And they may have, I thought for a moment that they might have nicked him on the arm. Cole McKenzie, by the way, is a quarterback, and he's going to go play football as soon as this is over. And the Billings senior high school football coach and the father of Gabe Sulcer traveled all the way back from Billings, drove in here this morning, and I know Kyle Peterson's going to talk to him a little bit later, but you talk about a dedicated father. Wait till you hear the story about Coach Sulcer. So it's 1-1 with 2 out now, and here comes McKenzie. Swung on and missed.
On Thursday, when they played California and had that big win, that was the first day of school back there in Montana at Lewis and Clark Middle School.
Swung on and missed, and Prado is out 1-2-3 with a couple of Ks. So he's picking up just where he left off. California 1, Montana nothing. Little League is the world's largest organized youth sports program. As you see, California leads Montana here 1-0. The Little League World Series. And hey, if you want to start a baseball program, dial up littleleague.org. They'll give you all the details on how you can do it. And it's pretty impressive around here, Oral.
I'll tell you what, this is a huge organization since 1939 when Carl Lee Stotts invented it. He'd think it would ever get this big. 16,000 plus Little League tournament days, over 40 days, 7,500 local leagues in 86 countries, 2.6 million Little League participants. It is that big, it is that great, and under the microscope of everybody watching these little kids, looking for fairness and keeping them healthy, Little League has done a great job.
And you look down from Little League Hill, and the first batter, Ryo Takata, is hit by a pitch. So Zimmer hits him, and Takata will take first.
Little exuberance right here on an inside fastball, kind of gets away from him, and he does a great thing turning away from the ball, using his shoulder to protect himself.
So Braden Salzman, today the California shortstop, steps in. And this is twice that California has put the leadoff man on. Danner opened the game for a double and scored their first run. Scored on Nick Prado's infield ground ball. So they lead at 1-0. And they're trying to get something going here against Zimmer again. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. At the breaking ball.
Yeah, he's just very good at hitting his spots. Braden Salzman has been right in the middle of everything. He'll be their closer today. If they keep him under 20 pitches and a win, he'll probably start tomorrow. If they would happen to move on. Their best pitcher, Hagen Danner, is out for the rest of Little League. He would have to go till Tuesday, and I don't think we're sticking around for that, Brent. Hopefully Irene lets us play tomorrow.
Absolutely. Live foul.
We had a close call with Ryo Takata at first base, but Braden Salzman had a huge break and great luck right here. This ball coming right back at him when he was pitching, hits him in the brim of the cap, and the crush zone saves him. There was a great sports science piece on ESPN about how hard that was. And that hat has become the lucky hat. His sister has it there with him. And you see the bend in the hat there. It's got its own seat.
That's a front row seat, isn't it? Huh?
His own sister, Toby.
The hat. 3-2.
I'll tell you what, that was a scary situation that came out very good for everybody.
Deep to right field. And the catch is made out there by Sulcer. So Gabe Sulcer drifts back and makes the put out for 1 out. So there was the young man whose brother was the quarterback for Billings Senior High. I'm sure he's watching right now. He had a big night. Kyle's going to be talking to Pops in the next half inning. We'll get the full story. Big win for Billings Senior. And the hitter up there now is Dylan Palmer, the third baseman for Huntington Beach. Even though they were held in check by Billings, as Oral said, there were 11 men left on base. There's no real soft spot in this lineup. This California team can hit, and Palmer does just that. Gone. A 2-run homer, and California jumps ahead 3-0.
Dylan Palmer at this point had only had 1 hit in the Little League World Series. He was 1 for 6 with an RBI. Now he's got 3 RBIs, and he's got himself a big fly in Williamsport. Clears the fence by a good 10-20 feet. Puts them up 3-0. Smiles on the west side.
Outside, yeah. You got to keep working them inside. Okay, just trust yourself. Hey, just plant back here. I don't know what to tell you. We've got the same mound. You pitched here the other day and pitched really well. Just take a deep breath and relax, all right? Fire it, okay? Let's go. Be alive.
They've got some clay on the mound there, and then they have the absorption material on top, and sometimes the kids slip. Remember, they can't wear the metal spikes here, and so you want to post up on that leg there and maybe slipping just a little bit. Doesn't feel as stable as he should, but the mound is in excellent shape.
Anthony Martinez steps in for California, and he lines one to center field, 2 out as Brock McDonald measures it. So Palmer, his big moment here today. The lucky sneakers and tennis balls paid off for the young man, wearing number 13, and he rockets a home run out of here. So with 2 out, here comes Danner, and they got to be careful with this youngster. He will go after it. And you and I can't help but look at some of these youngsters and think, someday this kid could be minor leagues playing. This is one of the youngsters in this competition, and I'm very, very impressed with him.
Yeah, he has been outstanding on the mound, showing great athleticism in the field, and at the plate he has very quick hands, exceptional hips as far as getting the bat through, and he has a good approach on both the inside and the outside pitch.
Falls one right straight back, got the roof. And you know what else is interesting about him? We've seen him play shortstop. Obviously, we've seen him pitch, and now he's behind the plate, and he's calling the game today for Nick Prado. So he can do a little bit of everything. Drifting down that right field line, going over foul, out of play.
Hagen Danner was on the team last year that lost to Hawaii in the regional finals, and he has been one of the leaders along with the pitcher today, Nick Prado. The two veterans have been not only physical leaders on the field statistically, but emotional leaders to tell these other kids and teammates what to expect through the district's regionals and now here.
Ground ball into left field for a base hit. So Hagen Danner is 2 for 2. 2 out, and Trevor Windish coming to the plate.
Any little slip up behind the plate, ball gets away even 3-4 feet. Hagen Danner will be on his horse.
A little bit of a difference when you compare what happened Wednesday night when California did not score and had only 3 hits, and already they've had more hits, swinging and missing. Windish was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. So Montana behind here for the first time since they played Rapid City, South Dakota. Pop up, foul. There you are, Rapid City, not too far from Billings, down in that corner of South Dakota. These are the 16 teams and the distances. How far they had to travel. How about that Netherlands team? 3,700 miles. Japan, of course, coming a long way. They'll be in the championship game against the winner of this game tomorrow. Swung on and missed. And a catcher, good play by Askelson on the foul tip. And that'll do it. So Dylan Palmer puts a charge in one. His first home run of the Little League World Series. And you know, when you hit your first home run, you are flat out happy. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. We welcome you back to Williamsport, California, leading Montana right now 3-0. When you think of Montana athletes, the first name that jumps to mind, of course, is a great left-handed pitcher from Billings. Dave McNally went on to fame with the Baltimore Orioles. But then when you think of Daredevils that came out, you go over to the western part of the state, and Butte, Montana. Evel Knievel, one of the great characters of our time. Pitches outside here. Montana needs to get something going. Ben Askelson has been a hero with the bat in a couple of games. Hit the walk-off home run against California. Hit the big double against Louisiana. So he's up there right now against Prado, and he's down 0-2. Just again to show you how efficient Nick Prado is. He has struck out the last 2 hitters.
Ball.
And up 0-2, misses with the pitch.
It's the only second ball he's thrown in 11 pitches.
Amazing.
And in his outing against them last time, he threw 50 pitches, 43 strikes.
Another strikeout. Let's go down to Kyle Peters. Let's talk a little high school football, Kyle.
Yeah, it's about that time, Brent. You know that very well. And I'm with Mark Sulzer. Your son Gabe is playing in this game out in right field. You've had quite a 24 hours, though. Head football coach at Billings Senior High School. You guys put 56 on the board last night, win game 1. Then you hop on a plane. What's the last 24 hours been like for you?
You know, my mind's been in 2 places, here and in Billings with our team and at school. And, you know, it was fortunate that we pieced things together. The first half took forever last night, and I didn't think I was going to make our plane. And then I started joking around towards the end. Hey, I got a plane to catch. Let's get this thing going. But just flew out after the game, spent the night in airports, going from Billings to Denver, Denver to Charlotte, Charlotte to Philly, and then drove in and got here about 10-2 today.
Now you get a chance to see your son again, and I know you've been out here before, but as a coach, I mean, sometimes you're on the sidelines, and I know your son last night was a quarterback for the Billings senior team. What's it like to sit here and watch him in a setting like this?
You know, it's exciting, and you know, actually, I hope the ball goes to him and that he makes a play, you know, and I hope he has a good at bat and then helps our team get better. So I mean, it is nerve-wracking. I think it's easier to coach a game than to sit and watch, for sure. But you know, you're just kind of on your edge of the seat, hoping that he makes a play and that his teammates do well and that they win the game.
You made a good play last inning. Good to see you, and glad you're back.
Thanks.
Brent.
Thanks, Kyle. And Andy Mayle, the left fielder today, with a single for Montana's first hit, and that brings up Pierce Kurth. And Kurth playing first base here for Billings this afternoon. So that brought the crowd alive. You could hear it behind Coach Sulzer when that single by Andy Mayle was the first base runner. And now maybe some of these other youngsters will come hacking. Pierce Kurth and then Brock McDonald be the next couple of hitters here. Billings trails by 3. Nick Prado was taken out of a scoreless game. They saved him for looking down the road. You have to wonder if California didn't have second thoughts after it was over about leaping, because Billings did not do any damage against Nick Prado, and you can see today he's very efficient.
I'd say today he's in there for the duration.
High throw down the right field line, but great play by the right fielder and a base running error, but they make another mistake. It's going to go to the wall, and here comes Mayle. He's going to try to score. He's going to make it. A little league run. It can happen, folks. It can happen.
Well, Andy Mayle wanders off first base after the pitch. Hayden Danner decides, I'm going to try and gut him out. A little bit high, but Steven Kotsky out there in right field does a great job backing up at the short hop. Braden Salzman, and it gets away from him, and now we're going home, and we're going to score a run, cut this one to 3-1 Montana. I don't know if that's an RBI. That's a run.
all of Big Sky was rocking over that one. Yeah, we had a couple of errors. E2, E9, and so when you throw the ball around, Little League Baseball like this, bad things can happen, and now they're out. The left fielder actually slipped as he came over. I think they're tending to him
Stretch it out. Take your time.
Takata is a left fielder. When he came over, he seemed to lose his footing.
His back, because he slipped, and he has a bad back. So you want to stay in? Okay. Go ahead. Take the time.
Let's take a look at this as he came over towards the foul line. I think his feet just went out from under him as he approaches that tarp. He might have been a little bit concerned about Earl, about how close he was getting in there. And down he went. He fell hard. That allowed Andy Mail to score. The count on the hitter, by the way, is 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. So he's still at the plate. Billings is on the board. They have broken through here in the second inning on Nick Prado. And this crowd now on its feet. So Pierce Kurth ready to go to work here. The Billings have been like that in this entire Little League World Series. Opportunistic.
You know, they've been aggressive. They're a very competitive bunch. We talked to the coach in our interview time with them, and he said they're so competitive. Somebody will say, what time is it? Somebody will say 3:54, and the other kid will go, no, 3:53. Oh, 3:53. It's like, okay, guys.
Oh, my. Yeah, Coach Carlson, Gene doesn't know what it's like to be home. He's been on golf coach so long. He's ready to land up there in Billings.
He's ready for school to start, and he's ready for football to start.
These guys do such a great job. Not just Gene, but Mr. Prado over here with California. All the coaches that we've come in contact with, the Japanese managers.
The kids are close, and the dads are close to coaches now because they were in the same barracks in San Bernardino. It became the championship barracks. They said, wouldn't it be great to be together? Wouldn't it be great to go to Williamsport together?
And here they are. Of course, the big thing that brought them together was 54 inches of what all?
Of a television set. The kids from California could bring in a big television set and had a bunch of video games hooked up to it, PlayStation, and the kids from Montana kind of gravitated at first towards the television, then towards the team from the West.
So it's 3-2 now on Kurth, and there he is.
Ball 4.
And he's on base. So they score a run, and suddenly Kurth walks, and now Prado a little bit upset with himself.
Yeah, it's really not his inning. The base hit and then the pickoff attempt is really what got away and scored the run. So that's the first real blemish on his resume.
And now Brock McDonald, the center fielder, steps in.
Ball.
And it's suddenly 2-0. And that run sort of unsettled Nick a little bit.
Yeah, his rhythm's a little bit different.
Well, I think is Gene looking to use a runner here? Yes, he's going to bring a special runner in. You know, you can use these fellas in situations. Okay. So here comes the Jet. Jet Campbell.
That runner is Prado's first walk in this Little League World Series in 8 1/3 innings. See how much control he's had.
2 balls and a strike. So it's 2-2. You know, another story. We have a woman umpire here working at first base, Nancy Prieto. From Mexico, 48 years old. She's worked 23 years as an umpire. She's got first base. Ground ball now to second. Let's see what they can do with it. 4-6 down across. They got the double play. And Nancy rings him up. But Billings gets on the board.
Well, they nailed down 1 run. But then a double play gets California out of the jam. Windish to Salzman to Mayaga. And Nancy Prieto, the second all-time international female umpire, turns the double play with California. That's 3-1 West right here. 2 runs in the top of the second made it that for sure. Montana got 1 in the bottom half, but Dylan Palmer with the big swing, the 2-run homer. Let's go down to Mateo. He's got a special guest.
Hey, you guys, I'm here with Dylan's mom. Tell me, what do you think about that home run?
Incredible. You know, Dylan hasn't
hasn't hit a home run since he made All-Stars, and to save it for today was amazing, just amazing.
How do you think Dylan's reacting?
He is on top of the world. He came off, and his smile was so big, ear to ear, just amazing. He's just on fire, I think, right now.
Tell me, what did the guys do on their day off yesterday?
You know what? Yesterday we picked them up around 11, went to lunch, and then they came back here for a media event. And the highlight, though, Dylan gave us a call and said that Ellen DeGeneres called the team, and he said it was incredible. Like he said, she said they love that she loves the team, she loves all the kids, and if they win it, they're going to go on the show. So let's hope for that, right?
Yeah, let's hope for that. Thank you so much for talking with us. Now back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. And Stephen Kotkowski comes up after Nick Prado just rammed a single. We go back to pump, folks. When we asked the youngster, who would you like to meet most of all? You think he's going to say an athlete, right? Or maybe a president of the United States. You know what he said? Warren Buffett. Now, here's a young man who knows how to take care of his bank account. Let me meet the Bard of Omaha. Okay, 1-0 here. Way to go, Dylan. Popped up out of play.
If he keeps his baseball career going and ends up in Omaha in the College World Series, he'll be really close to the Oracle.
Indeed. So digging in now, Kotkowski. He doubled, remember, back in the first inning and was left on second base. But the California youngsters are swinging the bat much better than they did in that first game. But they're coming hacking today. Aerial coverage, of course, provided by our good friends at Goodyear. Everything we learn making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. And you know what the best thing is about seeing the Goodyear blimp up there, my friend? Skies are clear.
That's true.
They run for cover when it gets a little tough up there.
It means it's pretty far off.
Love seeing that blimp up there. We'll see it over football stadiums next week, won't we, folks? Fouls it away. Everybody gets going. Man, you think about Southern California. Can UCLA play a little bit better under Rick Neuheisel? How about USC? Lane Kiffin, his second year out there. How are they going to do? Ineligible to win the South. The Pac-10's now the Pac-12. Oregon up north. They're favored up north. Stanford going to be real good. Andrew Luck favored to win the Heisman. Wow. It'll all begin next week. 1-2. Great stop by McKenzie. Couldn't get it out of his glove, but he prevents the runner from going to third base. I'm almost sure of that. And what a catch. And he almost got the ball out and threw it to second base.
Cole McKenzie playing shortstop today, but he's been an outstanding pitcher here. He's got a win for them. He threw 10 2/3 and struck out a lot of guys here at short. Just gets out of his hand. He's at .444. He has been very much a centerpiece of this Montana team.
So Jack Furry will be the pinch hitter here. One of the subs. There are 13 players on this Huntington Beach, California roster. And he will come in and pinch hit from Aarga. He'll need to also play 3 outs in the field. Speaking of the field, Dawson Smith is now playing first base for Billings, Montana. Andy Mail out in left field. Kick Bush is still at second. Of course, we just saw McKenzie with a good play. Check swing, foul ball. Couldn't get out of the way in time. So runners on at first and second, nobody out. California has scored 1 run in the first and 2 in the second.
Those lucky tennis shoes. Those are the tennis shoes of their league president. That last year she was wearing them when Nick Prado hit a home run.
Swung on, gets by Ben, and the runners will move up to second and third. The hitter is out, and you know, there are so many volunteers around here. We talk about the umpires a lot. There's just the folks who I've seen for years who are ushers and folks you run into around town who give their time and their effort. There's some of them out there. All these people you see are volunteers. I was down at Wakeman's, great grocery chain here in Pennsylvania, and met some people, some fine volunteers who said they've been here for 25 years. They wouldn't miss coming here as ushers along the way. It's just, this is one of the grand events of the year to be able to come to it. I'm so happy that you feel the same way.
Well, our roots run real deep, Brent, as far as Little League. You know mine does with my parents and Little League Parents of the Year and all the time they dedicate. I know it runs real deep with your father. And this league that we're actually watching on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Cease, of course, back in the 50s, wrote to Carl Stotts, and how do I start Little League? And he got a league going in Billings and got the man who owned the Ideal Bakery at the time, Gene Lissa, to give him Patrick Round, and out they went, carved out Little League field, and Cease would be so happy with these kids who have made it here, let me tell you. Nothing he loved better. Thank you very much.
2 strikes.
Yeah, it's been a great run for these youngsters. No matter what happens here today, this has been wonderful. And the entire state pulling for him to get out of this and score some more runs. You pick up the paper, or you look at the internet, in our case with the computer, the Missoulian, Bozeman Chronicle, Billings Gazette, obviously he's had great coverage, Great Falls, all the newspapers and all the fans out there. Could not have been better. There's going to be a big parade, just so you know, in Billings. Bruce McIntyre sent me an email a short time ago. He's with the Chamber in Billings. And the big parade for the Montana Little League will be September 3rd. And that's, of course, coming up next week. So we've got the bases loaded, 1 out. So we talked about Cease, and there he is on the left-hand side, working with one of his early groups of youngsters that he whittled down, and they took on. And always had that suit and tie. There was the letters that he wrote. He was the head of the Middle and Round Table, the sports organization of Billings at the time. And there you see some of the youngsters who are here. And indeed, wow, what have you got here, my friend?
I don't know. What's that? Is that you in that picture there? I don't know if you're in there or not. It's just an old-time Tiger picture.
That's an old-time Tiger picture. No, I played for the Appliance Mall.
Oh, really?
That's a pop-up to the third baseman. Yeah. All us gang, Oral up in all the youngsters. We lived up on Park Lane. Okay, and so we're a great group. Dick Cox lived right down the street. Bruce McIntyre, who I mentioned, Cease used him as an umpire because he came cheap, you know. But it was just great. And I tell you, I want to tell all you parents out there, son or daughter now, get them involved in Little League baseball. It's just what I've made is friends for a lifetime through Little League, and the same thing is happening here as we see the bases loaded with 2 out and a pop up to McKenzie. How about wiggling free on this one? So Montana in severe danger there, leaves the bases loaded, giving themselves a chance, staying in the neighborhood, and they're down 3-1 to the mighty team from California.
ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Little League World Series on ABC, presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Dairy Queen, so good it's ridiculous.
All right, you can't come to Williamsport and not slide down this hill, so I've decided to go down it with these guys, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Let's do this. We're going to do it again. That was a lot of fun, a little painful, but you know what? We do it! Yeah!
I haven't seen anybody have as much fun as he does the Little League World Series in years.
I haven't seen anybody in our career ever go down feet first.
No, it's wonderful, huh? 0-1 now is Montana here in the bottom of the third. They're the home team. Sean Jones, Gabe Sulcer. Sean, one of the bigger fellas on this team.
Oh!
So Sean ready here. Right on the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That ball just touched 70 miles an hour, which converted to 91 miles an hour at the big league level because of the 46 to the 60 feet 6 inches.
And they've got him. Let's take a look at our Choice Hotels game summary. And you can see the crowd on Little League Hill out there. We're in a 3-1 game. We have 20,168 here today. Okay, that's the crowd for the second game. So now we are over 400,000. Every number we add is a record, and we'll add to it tomorrow for the championship when the winner of this game will take on Japan.
And the reason for that big number is the team from Clinton County, which is only 29 miles from here that was in it, the Pennsylvania team. They drew over 160,000 people in their 4 games.
Weren't they fun?
Oh, they're unbelievable.
So this crowd here today is a good one also. Back up the middle, and Gabe Sulser said, my brother's getting too much credit, that quarterback. I got to do something myself. He ran for a touchdown, ran for 2, I think, and threw a screen pass for a 3rd. I got to get something going, so he singles.
Caught a couple balls out there in right field, gets a base hit. Dad flies in a 24-hour junket almost to get here.
Slept in the airport last night, he told me, before he drove over this morning.
What did he say? Denver to someplace, to Philly?
Denver to Charlotte.
To Philly.
To Philly, to sleep, to drive, to here. I think that's how the trip went. But it's so wonderful. The youngsters so enjoy seeing the parents here. All the California parents who have been here in Huntington Beach, of course, you're very familiar with that part of Los Angeles. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And take a look at this proud group here from California.
And they've put some miles in.
Yes, they have.
All the way from districts and San Bernardino, and then to get here. Same plane as the Montana kids.
Yeah, they flew to Newark, got in a bus, and they went to McDonald's at 5:30 in the morning. How were the hamburgers? They said pretty good. Okay.
Anything at 5:30 in the morning if you're hungry is good.
The neighborhood Subway was closed. I don't want to nail our sponsor on this one.
No,
it was
sure.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Got it on the corner, and Zimmer takes it. So when you look at the Northwest region, remember now, folks, this used to be 1 region before they invited 16 here. Idaho, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, and Alaska join up with Montana there. And then Southern California also has Northern California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and Hawaii. And hasn't Hawaii played some good baseball over the last few years? We went to the finals last year and lost to Japan.
So they have both regional tournaments in the same place. San Bernardino, and these guys shared a barrack. And then they shared an airplane, and they shared a little dinner, and then now they're here together in the Grove and playing each other for the 2nd time.
Here's one of our favorite little leaguers, Connor Kickbush, 2nd baseman.
74 pounds, 4'8". 3rd smallest player, 2nd shortest. And I'll tell you what, he's played very well on defense.
And that view from the foul pole, right field line, you can look out over this wonderfully groomed field. And there we are.
Got himself a hit here.
Right back up the middle, and Prado will take it himself. Throw it on to first. It's 3-1. It's California leading Montana. And we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station. Back to Williamsport and the Little League World Series United States Championship game. California comes up here in the 4th inning with a 3-1 lead, and some people are scampering for a little shelter. The raindrops have started to fall here. Christian Catano comes to the plate and fouls one off, so this will be his at bat. He's batting for Anthony Martinez. Yes, indeed. And in case you're wondering, at Little League, you have to go 4 full innings with the home team trailing. So I know some of you, when you see raindrops start to fall, you wonder what is the situation at Little League. It's 4 full because Billings is behind, so we would have to play this complete inning. But I don't want to raise any alarms because it's not raining that hard yet, and we have a terrific grounds crew and a field that drains about as well. When I first came here back in 1990. This field did not drain all that well, and they dug it up, replaced it, put a brand new bottom on it, and now it's a beautiful draining field. And this grounds crew will get out on top of it in a hurry if they have to stop. 2-2 now. Well, can you believe the changes here in Williamsport? Mercy, that natural gas strike close by, and see those Halliburton trucks and everything, and look what they've done here at the ballpark. That eye, that's the batter's eye, just out beyond center field. And pop it up. And McKenzie can't stay with it and drops it. That's an error on the shortstop. So the leadoff hitter is on. So let's take a look at our fresh take from Williamsport, brought to you by Subway, our Little League World Series attendance record, and talk to us about tomorrow's championship.
Well, the team against Japan on Sunday at 12 Eastern will take on one of these two teams. And that'll be on ESPN, ESPN2. And make sure you check your listings, because a lot of times people think it's going to be on ABC. It's been moved up an hour and moved to ESPN.
Well, the rain continues to come down here. Hagen Danner is at the plate for the third time in this game. He's 2 for 2, a double and a single.
I'm sure Little League will stick with this game a little longer with the rain coming down, because you look at the radar, there's not like it's a break coming. It's going to be just light rain for right now.
Time.
1 ball and 1 strike. And now the first base umpire's gone over to the Montana dugout.
I just want to know if it got wet and he's slipping on the mound, okay?
And there is a spot out there that does look like it could be tended to. The 2 umpires out there, and she's doing exactly that. Because it was a slippery spot.
Yeah, it'd be better to leave the absorption material now over the clay, because the clay will get slippery with little water. But that absorption material would be the best thing for it.
She was telling him that when you do that after a pitch, just go ahead and kick it back in there. Dry stuff, fill it up on it. Yeah. Meanwhile, let me remind everybody that Modern Family has 17 Emmy nominations, more than any other broadcast network show. 17. So we're going to celebrate with a special 1-hour season premiere. ABC's Modern Family. That'll be Wednesday, September 21st. Swung and missed. It's 1-2, and Danner was trying to play long ball.
Well, the hill has not cleared out, and nobody is running for cover now, and the rain seems to subside a little bit.
I agree.
It's actually gotten a little warmer, too.
Oh! Gets to the backstop. And Catano, who came in to hit, takes second base. So Catano's out there at second. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Hagen Danner, here for Huntington Beach. And that's a wild pitch.
Hagen had an outstanding Little League World Series. A great little personality on this guy. Plays a little travel ball above and beyond Little League. But they watch his innings and his pitching also with that combined. What he gets in Little League. And again, he's one of the veterans on this California team that lost in the regional finals to Hawaii, that went on to win the U.S. Championship, played in this game last year.
Andy Mayle and Ben Askelson have changed positions. That's Andy behind the plate right now, and Ben is out in left field for Billings. Chet Campbell has gone to second base, and Connor Kickbush is out in right field.
Ball 4.
And that's ball 4. So there are 2 on again here for California. So Montana flirting with it, with a bad inning here if they don't settle down.
Ben Askelson out in left field moved out there because he was catching, and you can't catch more than 3 innings and still pitch in a game. So I'm sure that was strategy so that he could be in the bullpen and pitch in this game today. Little League has a rule there to protect young guys.
Off the plate, all right? They're not getting good wood on those inside pitches. Right.
Justin Siaka.
Relax, all right?
He's coming out to hit for California.
Okay, all right. Let's get used to it then. Finish your pitch. Finish it.
Tom Zimmer throws back to the dugout. Justin ready, slaps one foul.
They had first and second, no out last inning, and Montana pitched around it, put a 0 up on the board. And this was a semi-problem, a big problem for California in their first game against Montana. They left 11 runners stranded in that game.
Swung on a missed, and now it's 0-2, and suddenly the rain coming back down again.
And actually the skies are lighter.
Here's the 0-2.
You know, this Montana team, Brent, would have been the darlings of the tournament, I believe, if the Pennsylvania kids wouldn't have made it here with the underdog status they really have, with the population of Montana and the number of leagues there. And I'll even admit myself, I didn't take them seriously until after they went 2-0. I thought it was just going to be kind of a nice showing and a great first appearance for a state that got here for the first time. And then they ended up being the 6th team to go 2-0. And now they're the 5th team to go 3-0 in their first appearance here.
Only team that's unbeaten. Mexico lost for the first time earlier.
Yes, you're right.
So Billings is sitting on 3-0. At least for 3 more innings.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens here. 0-2.
Oh. And they lost a game 19-1 to Oregon, where they had 9 unearned runs, and that was the turning point for their tournament team. It was a lesson learned that the coach said, see how disciplined and error-free we have to play. We are not the mighty giant that can slug away from bad defense and walking people.
The second baseman, the Jet with a beautiful play, and they get the runner at second base. And Jet Campbell in for his defensive appearance, and he comes up with a good play.
This is exactly what Coach Carlson was talking about, that they have to play flawlessly to beat these high-quality teams. Maybe they have a little bit more ability than us guys, but we can hang with them by throwing strikes, making pitches, and playing defense. And that has taken them to an undefeated record here at the Little League World Series, and right there puts them in a position to get out of this inning with a double play ball.
But it won't be easy, because here comes Nick Prado. He has driven in a run with an infield out, singled sharply the last time, and was concerned about the sign. And now Prado steps back in. And a runner on first will take second base, so they'll have runners on second and third with 1 out.
Well, there goes your double play possibility. They're going to play back and sacrifice a run on a ground ball, especially up the middle. Maybe the corners might still come home.
Fastball was called for. 73 pitches already here for Patrick Zimmer. Number 85's the limit. We were in the 4th inning. Top of the 4th. California 3, Montana 1, United States Championship. Check swing, foul ball. See the lens back there that you're looking at behind the hitter? That's a 3D lens back there. See the 2 eyes like that? Gives you good ideas. Some of you folks are watching in 3D. Some of you are thinking about it. Make sure you get down there and take a look at it. Here's a deep drive off the wall. 2 runs will score. And Nick Prado pulls into second with a double. And California now leads it 5-1.
I think he did a good job staying inside this ball, driving at the opposite field He has very nice swing, has a great pitching motion on the mound. He almost hit it out of here. He just barely misses clearing the wall, hits the bottom of the yellow line there, and bounces back in.
So we'll take a break. California leads it 5-1.
We look alive. We are live. We are alive. We are looking. Wait. Who is looking? Brent? Help?
Phineas, stick with me, Phineas. You are looking live. I remember the first time I looked live with Oral Hershiser. Take a peek, folks.
Oral Hershiser, nice to have you with us, and what a week this has been for you to just watch these kids.
Well, it has been fantastic, Brent, to watch these kids, especially these guys from Bel Air, Texas.
See how TV can age you?
Oh, my gosh, Brent.
You were young in those days, lad. We've been coming here a few years. Ground ball. Ben Askelson, the new pitcher. Bobbles it, still going to get the lead runner. They run into an out. So, I mean, we've seen some great plays, but wow. That, you see, you know, it should have been Smith as the name. You know, less cardboard than
we look a little different right now compared to back then. I had a little heavier hair gel, I think, working, a little shorter hair.
And I might have had a few fewer gray
That was
hairs
2000, and I retired in June, or was retired or fired by the Dodgers.
The Bulldog, folks. Tommy Lasorda used to love this guy next to me. I'd go down there after Dodger games. My sons Blake and Scott, they were avid Tommy Lasorda fans. It's just a shame what's happened to the Dodgers. I feel so badly about that franchise right now. One of the great franchises in American sport. And to read the articles about how attendance has gone down upwards of around 20% this year. They got some good players there. And Ben Askelson, we've talked about it. He made a great play defensively when he came in here for Billings. He's been the hitting hero.
The Dodger fans deserve better. And we'll just go back to Little League.
You know, in Billings, Montana, it was a Dodger farm team back in the days, in the late 40s, early 50s. Back there. I grew up a great fan of the organization back in that time. The top farm team, as you know, was Montreal. Jackie Robinson, of course, Branch Rickey took into the Brooklyn Dodgers, and then also Don Newcomb, Roy Campanella came along, and you just look back at the great history of that franchise. 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 2 out, and Southern California leading at 5-1. That'll do it. Good job by Askelson. Well, Billings needs 4 runs to tie it, and they got a little time coming up when you come back.
ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Little League World Series on ABC. Presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great. ChoiceHotels.com. It's your voice. It's yourchoicehotels.com. Book today at the U.S. Postal Service.
We welcome you back to the Little League World Series, presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, the United States Championship. Huntington Beach, California, 5. Billings, Montana, 1. We come to the bottom of the 4th inning. And we must talk about Nick Prado, because the pitch count out on the scoreboard shows only 42 pitches, and he has 85. So if you're wondering if he's approaching having to leave, he is not. And his father told us yesterday he's not even thinking about taking his son out if he doesn't have to. So Prado here now against Cole McKenzie. McKenzie was a strikeout victim. Lashes 1 foul.
Prado's been exceptional and efficient. His little strikeout mainly with the fastball. There, a little tiny breaking ball he throws, but his key has been his location. He's been able to pound the strike zone. A couple little glitches in control, but mostly has been in control of the game.
This is a great battle. McKenzie, the strikeout victim, remember, he doubled off Pratt in that first game. And Prado is moving the ball around on him now. Just missing. A little bit of the wave down here from Huntington Beach. They know what waves are all about. 2-2. Kenzie stays with it. Here's the 2-2 from Prado. Foul back. Cole McKenzie just tore up the regional.
He had a grand slam there. And he's tore up here at the Little League World Series.
There's base hit. Stays right with it. With an off-speed pitch, he's got some of the best bat control we've seen.
He's a fine athlete. He's really helped carry this team offensively. Done really well pitching-wise also. 3-0 in there since the regionals. Stayed right in there and stayed on it, left on left. Prior to facing Prado in the first game, they had only had 2 at-bats out of 185 at-bats, this Montana team. And that was one of the reasons they brought Nick Prado right back at him in that game. With that very little experience against lefties, he threw 4 innings, only gave up 2 hits. So he returned to the hill here.
And here's Ben Askelson, the home run hero for Billings the other night. Montana is down by 4. Whiffed him. Second time he's got him. You know, overall, the long ball and runs, they are down here this year at Little League, and I would say considerably as you take a look at the total runs that we have. And this game and then tomorrow is all we got left. So we're going to have dropped off. And of course, they changed the rules regarding the bats this year. And that seems to be the consensus opinion of why the run scoring and home run production has so dramatically fallen off. And it's a pretty good story. Swung on a miss. Let's go to Kyle Peterson for the details. Kyle?
Yeah, Brent, it's been in the past, Little League Baseball always tested bats, but the difference in the past was they just tested them once. They tested them to make sure that they were legal to go into play, and then after that point, there was no additional testing that was done. The difference this year has been, and it was a study that was funded through UMass Lowell, they studied those bats all the way through and they took them to failure. And if at any point during that it exceeded Little League standards and that bat was deemed to be illegal, the biggest difference in the past was some bats actually got better when they were put into play.
Ground ball to the shortstop, and they get the lead runner. Go ahead, Kyle.
And it was really, they took the lead from college baseball. We see this change this year in college baseball. It really changed the college game, and it was one that I think across the country was really pretty well accepted. I think you're going to see this in Little League Baseball as well. The biggest goal and the ongoing goal with Little League is to make sure that these bats are consistent all the way across the board, and I think they've really achieved it here.
Now Dawson Smith, who went in to play first base, comes on here for his at-bat. 2 out, 1 on. It's 5-1. It's California. This is the bottom of the 4th. 6 innings regulation for the little fellas.
Yeah, the boys from the Northwest really need a big hit, a little jolt here. I know 2 strikes, 2 out. They're not giving up. Very competitive bunch of kids. And they have a lot of heart and a lot of character. A battle right there.
There you go.
Sometimes we see a team fall behind a very good team 5-1 at this point in the game, and we start to see some sulking in the dugout. We start to see some distraction and disappointment, but you can see them up on the edge of the fence, fingers in, looking, hoping, praying, pulling for their teammates.
Ball.
It's really interesting to watch this battery work. Hagen Danner, the catcher, is calling all the pitches for his buddy Nick Prado. Swung on and missed, and doing a pretty good job of it, I might add.
Well, when we come back, we're going to get a little family history on Christian Catano, number 15 for the West.
So I'm here with Christian Cataño, and I found out that we're semi-sort of almost basically related. My fourth cousin's mom is my mom's cousin, your uncle.
Emiliana's dad is my uncle.
So your uncle's wife is my mom's fourth cousin.
Yeah.
Second, oh, hold up. This is so confusing. So that would mean that you and me are like really distant, but almost kind of related.
Yeah.
I agree with that. There's Julian and Monica Catano, Christian's parents. And did you get all that?
I couldn't get the math or the relationship, but it's Mateo.
I was trying.
Kicking it from the Disney Channel. He's a funny young man who's done a great job for us this week. Put some great packages together and some live interviews.
Takata steps in now. He'll lead it off here for California. Top of the 5th inning. Huntington Beach 5, Billings, Montana 1.
Ball.
Well, the first thing in coming back is you got to shut down this California offense. 2 innings to do it for Montana. But it starts on D.
Ben Askelson comes out here and falls behind 3-0. Interesting thing about Ben, maybe his favorite sport is wrestling. And the players on the team said he's a very good wrestler, which means he probably is going to be a pretty decent football player looking down the road. Some of those fellows are good young wrestlers. They know how to get leverage on the football field.
Ball 4.
He walks the leadoff hitter. And reminder that Tuesdays this fall, Tim Allen returns to ABC in a new comedy about a man's man living in a house full of women. Tim Allen is the last man standing, and that will start Tuesday, October 11th, 8/7 Central on ABC. Salzman steps in, gets away. Ben's having control problems right now, and on the wild pitch, Takata takes second base. So looking ahead, if California's lead holds up, you would think this young man Salzman might start tomorrow against the Japanese team. Or what's your feeling about that?
We're predicting that Braden Salzman would be the starter against Japan.
Here comes Coach Zimmer.
And I think Tatsuka would be the likely starter for Japan.
What's that? What's that? Just relax, okay? You had a good inning last inning. Build on that. Just relax and pitch. Remember what that means? Stay low, drive with that leg. Okay, trust yourself. Throw it hard. Okay, don't aim it. Don't aim it. All right? Take a change, gentlemen? Nope. We're ready.
That Japanese team, whoever wins this game, will be a formidable opponent. They have a big power hitter in the middle of their lineup that also is a pitcher, Mr. Suzuki. He's about 5'11", 164 pounds, and he's an outstanding player for Team Japan.
So Salzman at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes.
Ball.
And Ben's got to find that strike zone. One thing you can't do at any level is start walking hitters.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched here at the Little League World Series yet. He pitched in the regionals. And as you go deeper in the tournament with the rest requirements, sometimes you get a little deeper into the staff, and we've seen that it's more of not an individual or a very strong individual that can carry a team always now, that with the pitch count rules that it takes a whole team to win it, and it really has evened the playing field in some ways.
2 balls and a strike.
Ball. No, he didn't. Nancy, did he go?
And he went. The first base umpire on appeal brings up the strike, and it's 2-2. Nancy Presto.
Take a look there, and she's got that as a swing, an attempt to hit the ball.
2-2. Out of play. So if you take a look at Suzuki, who will not be pitching, obviously, because he closed out Mexico earlier today. He'll be the power hitter that the winner of this game will have to stop. Very impressive athlete.
Ball.
We'll take a look at the numbers for Suzuki. Against Mexico today, gave up only 2 runs, one of which was unearned.
When you see the 91 pitches, that's because the last batter he faced, he started on his 84th pitch. He was able to finish that batter, and it took 7 pitches to get that batter out, so that wasn't going above the pitch limit.
You bet. Priceless moments here all week long. These unbelievable crowds for Pennsylvania. Even today, great turnout for these 2 games. Back the middle. Diving effort. No. They're going to wave the runner home. McKenzie makes a fine throw, but he's safe at the plate. And it's 6-1 California on a run-scoring single by Salzman.
Braden Salzman, who was our miracle child, that was actually hit on the brim of his hat when he was pitching. We saw a sports science piece on that was allowed him to. The hat took the brunt of it, but right there, the baseball took the brunt of it on the base hit. And Ben Cole McKenzie made a nice throw home, just a little high, and Andy Mail did everything he could to catch that ball and get down.
Made a heck of an effort, didn't he?
He sure did.
On that high throw, you bet.
That is one thing we never lack here, Brent. You know it is the effort by the kids.
That's unbelievable. And there is that brim. Took that line drive. And here's our home run hitter at the plate, Palmer. He homered back in the 2nd inning for Southern California. We'll be digging in here. Still nobody out for California. They lead at 6-1. We're in the top of the 5th.
Get yourself a little scouting report. If California moves on tomorrow to play Japan, you'll get to see these kids again, because the Japanese pitchers are very accurate, and they are going to watch this game live, and they're going to watch it on tape, and they're going to see how to pitch people. We have quite a strategy in those games ahead of us tomorrow.
But a reminder now, a couple of things now. We're moving the championship game to noon, and it will be on ESPN. So 12 noon ESPN. We're scheduled our championship game, and call strike 3 here. So that is the first out. And I believe that is Anthony Martinez. Yes, coming back up to the plate, number 22, with 1 out here. Montana will still have 2 at-bats. They've got 6 outs left. But they're going to have to find a way to get some base runners against Nick Prado, who has been outstanding again here today. That's the one word you can use in describing him. And when you run into a buzzsaw in Little League who's a pitcher, it's always the case. You got your hands full.
Like Montana being their first appearance as a state here and making such a great showing. This is the first time ESPN 3D has done this tournament, and it'll be the first championship game tomorrow, ESPN 3D. So it'll be on ESPN and ESPN 3D.
Slide foul.
Well, I've gotten to see that down in our food room here, and up on our booth we have a 3D monitor, and it's been awfully fun to watch baseball in 3D.
So there is the pitcher, Prado. Big smile on his face now, dominating.
If he didn't know we were in 3D, he wouldn't have shaved his head.
Askelson ready, swung on and missed. Well, now there are 2 down. So it's just a wonderful accomplishment for the Big Sky State and Billings to get here with a population of under 1 million. More than 37 million. The great state of California, 827 leagues, always a powerhouse, 22,000 teams. Been here well over 40 times. Play for championships. I remember Sean Burroughs in Long Beach coming in here. Won once and won the second one on a forfeit. I think the Philippines used about 6 ineligible players. Great story about the Philippines. Every place they'd go to play a tournament, they'd pick up the MVP on the other team. I think they came in here, the Indonesia All-Stars, where none of us knew, you know, it was a fine team and they won it. And there are some of the Japanese moms, and they were great. A small contingent and loud. There'll be some more of the Japanese folks, I hope, Driving in. I was going to say line drive. Base hit. McKenzie again. And the runner did not make a move. And McKenzie held onto the ball and ran it back into the infield. The third base coach respected McKenzie's arm out there in center field. If you know with a lead like this on a base hit, you're coming. You're coming to the big league. You're sending it.
With 2 outs, but Cole McKenzie has a rocket out there. He's their best pitcher. And he charges this ball very well, catches on one hop, one hand, and he is ready to let it go. But they are definitely going to hold the runner, Braden Salzman, at third base. I'll tell you, our big hitter over there at first, Hagen Danner, another knock.
That's 3 hits for him today. 3 for 3 and a walk. Trevor Windish back in the 2 spot. Second baseman, 2 out. Timeout, and Andy Mail wants to give a little signal information out there to his pitcher, Big Ben. So here we go. Who are our hit leaders from Little League World Series? Well, there you are. You're looking at number 1. With the 3 hits today, he is now gone past Arnett from Georgia, Yanni Hernandez from Venezuela, plus some wonderful, wonderful baseball players. Gets by mail. This could score a run. It does.
Safe.
On a wild pitch, Salzman dashes home.
Salzman gets an RBI, gets a hit, scores a run.
And now the faces grow a little bit longer. This down 7-1, being dominated by the big left-hander from Southern California. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped it up. Jets got it. And that'll do it, Jet. That was number 3. Well, Billings got a rally now, trailing 7-1. We'll be back to see if they can do it after this message and word from ABC station. California 7, Montana 1. Coming to the bottom of the 5th as we take a look, Oral, at Dairy Queen's ridiculous play of the day.
I'll tell you what, back in the second inning, we need to get out of a jam. You go Trevor Windish at second base. He turns it to Hagen Danner. Danner over to Jason Mayorga. And a fist pump and a motion from the pitcher at the end. The guy who started this double play with a nice little fastball, Nick Prado. He's been outstanding on the mound today. And great emotion, great smiles, and they are very happy on the west side right now with this score 7-1. As you see, Nick Prado has been outstanding again.
And 61 pitches, so he's in real good shape with 24, needing 6 outs. So Billings will see what they can do now. They've got 2 more at bats. And Brock McDonald steps in. See if he can get on base and get something started here. But for a left-hander, this youngster's got terrific control.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. As far as lefties, they usually get away with a little better movement and deception.
Right.
And the guys that have these kind of mechanics and pinpoint control. Mark Mulder in his prime. Tom Glavine.
You bet, Glavine. 1-1.
John Lester, who I think is pitching today for the Red Sox. If the weather let him pitch, I think he and Beckett in a doubleheader if they get it in.
Ball with 2 strikes. So, who would you give the Cy Young Award to in the National League?
Wow. Roy Halladay's got to be in there, of course. What a Ian Kennedy
performer
in Arizona's going to get some votes. But he is a machine, and it's going to be hard to knock out the champ.
True. 2-2. A lot of Philly fans here in central Pennsylvania. And of course, some other folks are happy that the Pirates have played a little bit better. Our Little League World Series, of course, presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, the home of Tony the Tiger. Hey, I was down there and saw the Tiger put his head up at the PK. I don't know if he liked that too much, but I was down there. 2-2.
It's kind of like seeing Santa Claus.
3-2 now.
If you ever had to put a beard on before the whiskers grow in.
3-2 now from Prado. Swung on and missed. And of course, we've had great fans with the big boys, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. I remember being in the big leagues for 17 years myself. We used to sit around and do this kind of stuff, watch the Little League World Series. Big fans. The Texas Rangers, Hank Conger, down there in the Los Angeles Angels clubhouse watching this California team.
Sean Jones steps in. Let me check that. This is Leatherberry with his at bat. So Leatherberry will bat instead of Jones here in the bottom of the 5th.
I think we had some phone calls from big leaguers to some of these little leaguers. I know Adrian Gonzalez called the Rhode Island team. I think Carlos Guillen called, maybe it was the Mexico team or Venezuela team.
Ball.
There have been a lot of communication.
There's the rally cap being. Shake it up real good, lads.
Looking for some change. Let's go.
Yourselves a little bit of a swung on and missed. And I've got that for 9 Ks. Where we talk about little leaguers who are in the major leagues. Just let's take a peek. These guys all played in the Little League World Series. Todd Frazier, I still remember that great team from Toms River, New Jersey. There we mentioned Sean Burroughs.
Colby Rasmus, a young man who just moved from St. Louis up there to the Toronto Blue Jays, making an impact up there. We saw Jason Varitek, the captain's having a resurgence this year, hitting a lot better and splitting time back there behind the plate with the Red Sox.
Here's the Jet. Jet Campbell's at bat with 2 out. Billings has 4 outs left to get something done, and it doesn't look like Prado's going to give an inch. He's at 75 pitches. He has just been superb out there for Huntington Beach here today.
Ball.
The only thing about him is he wants every pitch called a strike.
Yeah, I think he's a perfectionist for himself, and a perfectionist wants the umpires to be that way.
He's going to learn a lesson from an umpire somewhere down the line. There's a ground ball now to second. Windish cannot come up with it, and the Jet is on. So Patrick Zimmer.
That's the same second baseman that turned a double play for you and he got you out of a jam, and here he just makes a little botch. You got to deal with both when you're on the mound, but he was a hero in the second to get him out of a jam. Trevor Windish, you're not perfect even all the way up to the big league.
So here with 2 out. Patrick Zimmer.
Ball.
Fouls it off. AC/DC for these youngsters, that is, that's an oldie but goodie, isn't it?
Yeah, an old band, an old kind of hard rock band.
Yeah, good sound. But that's for old guys like you and me.
Yeah, that's why my ears are bad. At an early age.
That can happen. That's right.
Too much of that loud music with headphones early on.
One, 2 now on Zimmer.
Ball.
Almost held up, so it goes to 2-2 now.
You know, when mom and dad warn you and you're 12 to 16 years old, 18 years old, you feel like you're bulletproof. It's going to hurt your ears. Nah, well, it did.
Ground ball, but right to third. Snatched by Palmer in the dirt, and what a pickup by Mayorga. So Billings puts a runner on, leaves him stranded.
ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Little League World Series on ABC. Presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes Cereal. They're great. Sherwin-Williams. Ask Sherwin-Williams how you can make the most of your color with the very best paint. Sprint. All together now. And Subway restaurants. Get a Subway Fresh Fit for Kids meal today.
Sixth inning, California 7, Montana 1. And a reminder that Little League is the world's largest organized youth sports program. More than 2.5 million youngsters, 50 states, 80 other countries. And for more information, stats or stories, how to start your own Little League baseball or softball program, dial up littleleague.org. And so it's the top of the sixth inning. And here's the young man who has been so impressive as a pitcher, Nick Prado.
Got to check umpire review.
You might be saying that the batter's box is a little slippery. You might want a little help with it. Oh. We're hearing down there from that area that apparently Nick thought he got hit by the pitch. So the umpire can do it himself.
Looks like a little short hop in front of the foot, wasn't it? Take a look at this.
See here, a little spinner.
Yeah.
Maybe the dirt got him, but I'm not
the foot
sure
doesn't.
if the ball did or
the
not.
foot doesn't flinch, so I don't think there's any evidence that did not hit it.
One ball.
The umpires can take as many glances at replay as they want. That was not a request by the West for one of their 2 unsuccessful requests, so they can look immediately if they want, the umpires.
You know, it's interesting to go to what Jeff Prado, his father and the manager of Huntington Beach, told us that once upon a time he did call all pitches for Nick. So one time he wanted the hook thrown, and the youngster threw the fastball, and it was a game-winning hit. And the youngster said, well, I just thought I could get him out with that pitch, as he rips one to second. And here's Jet, and another mistake by Montana, and Prado moves to second base on the air. And so that was it. He decided, the manager did, that Hagen Danner was going to call. And, so we'll check in now with Kyle.
All right, Brent, thanks. Well, we've got the congressman, the only congressman from the state of Montana here today, too, Danny Rayberg, whose daughter, Elsie, actually was taught by Connor Kickbush's mother. Danny Kickbush is a third-grade teacher. Elsie went through Danny's third-grade class, and when his team started the run, she told her dad, hey, if they make it to the American Championship, we have to go. So the congressman promised his daughter that. He, his wife, and himself flew to D.C. the other day. They actually then chartered a bus. He brought 14 of his staffers up here and is here for the day. So cool. The only congressman from Montana here to see these kids' final game, it looks like, potentially here in Williamsport.
So here's Kickbush, Danny Rayberg here with his large contingent.
One of the great freckle faces of the Little League World Series, Connor Kickbush, and great athlete.
And then opposite foul on the screen.
Connor has the quote of the Little League World Series here. He's the second smallest player here. At 74 pounds, he said to his mom through the fence, Mom, it's hard to hit when they throw faster than you weigh. With a smile.
Oh, what a one. So
he got himself a hit here.
So I know they're feeling down right now. They trail it by 6. They're being choked by a real good pitcher from Huntington Beach, but
they're going to be greeted by a parade back home, right? They're treated
September
like heroes,
3rd,
like they are.
Great. They've had a great summer. The state has rallied behind them. Certainly the city of Billings, and 21 times Billings went to the regional, and this is the first time that they made it all the way. And that first team you talked about, Steve Spurgeon, went to Richland, Washington. Jerry Walters, before your time, pitched for the Cleveland Indians for Billings, and then they couldn't handle a team from Santa Monica. It was another situation where Southern California was just a little too good for them, and that was the first of 21 times that city has won the state, and just could not quite make it to Williamsburg. But this has been an unbelievable story and experience for these youngsters. And now we've got 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. So Ben Askelson, he relieves Zimmer. Jack Furry coming up for the second time in this game. So nobody out. Ben's going to have to pitch himself out of this jam.
Be hard to convince the kids from Montana right now, but they need to soak in this atmosphere. Some of their last times they'll play Little League baseball and play it in this arena on this field against this competition. Have so many people adoring them, remembering what they have accomplished over the last 40 days. It's going to be memories that they think of their whole life, of what it was like to play in Williamsport and make this run, if that's the way it ends up.
Wow.
Two balls and one strike.
Play.
Mayorga's ready.
Ball.
I should say Jack Furry, of course, he'd come into bat in the Mayorga spot in the lineup. 3 balls and 1 strike. High in the air, and Kickbush measures it, makes the put out, and the runner on second will move to third base. Well, up on the hill is the wonderful Little League Museum, and some of these youngsters have played Little League baseball and have gone on to the National Football League. Joe Montana and John Elway was a sensational baseball player, as you know. Played for a while with the New York Yankees. He came out of the Mount Sentinel Little League in Missoula, Montana, and Missoula's had a fine Little League program, as you see the museum up on the hill.
Here we go.
Reminds me a story of John Elway's father, late father, who was an outstanding football coach.
Ball.
John was a youngster in Missoula going to play Pop Warner football, small guy football. And Mom, because Jack was an assistant with the Montana Grizzlies, Mom was going to take John Elway to his first football practice, and father said, make sure you tell him that he's a quarterback.
Oh.
I want him to play quarterback. So Mom is driving John to his first practice, and he says, Mom, don't tell him I want to be a quarterback. I want to be a running back in this league. And Mom said, you know what Dad said. You got to be a quarterback. And he said, we won't tell Dad. Just let me be a running back. So the Grizz down the road had an off Saturday. Ball gets away, and California is going to score again here to make it. And they're going to try to score a second one. They throw to Ben, not in time. And so now the total amounts here against Montana. 2 more score to make it 9-1. And so Jack showed up at practice, and he saw that John was playing a running back. And later he said, John, what? You want to be? He said, no, Dad, the quarterback in Pop Warner doesn't get enough action. I want to be a running back.
He got back to quarterback later.
Yeah. Later he moved back to quarterback. They had a pretty good career of it. But he was a heck of an outfielder. He really was a talented baseball player.
Ball 4.
And so now it's 9-1 and a walk. And Eric Anderson is the hitter who drew that walk. So he trots on down. Gene Carlson coming out here.
Once you go to left.
So we'll take a break. Montana changing pitchers here. Ian Leatherberry out on the mound for Montana. He's Billings' 3rd pitcher here today. 1 out, runner on first base. Orr will take us through this young man.
Ian Leatherberry hasn't pitched since the regionals. See the 3 1/3. He did well there. Only a couple hits, 1 earned run. First pitching appearance here at the League World Series, the Big E.
Ball.
His superstition is to wear the same socks and wear them inside out, so we can't get an up-close and personal look at that. But between the smelly shoes of California and the inside-out socks of Ian Leatherberry, we are really in for the feet.
Slap foul now by young Salzman.
Those smelly shoes over there. Nick Prado hit a home run last year in All-Stars. Then they got knocked out in the regional finals. But those are the shoes of the league president, because that home run hit the league president in the shoe. She took them off, gave them to the team for luck, and they've been with them ever since. And they've got their lucky tennis balls hanging over there. It makes them remember to let it all hang out with ability and go for it.
McKenzie can't hang on. And that's going to put runners on at second and third. Pierce Kurth with a good throw down there to second base. And some of the problems continue here. So the error is at the receiving end.
Ball. And this game's got to go through 6 innings no matter what, because you can't have a 10-run rule. The Northwest would need to get their at bat in the bottom of the 6th. So they're going to get a shot no matter what happens.
Here's Dylan Palmer. He hit that home run to put California up by 3, and that was back in the 2nd inning.
But if you're starting to think California versus Japan, this will be the 2nd championship game between California and Japan if we play one tomorrow since 1976. Brent.
One more scores to make it 10-1 on Palmer's run-scoring single. Now we'll take a look at our Kellogg's Frosted Flakes moment of the game, Earl.
Back in the 4th inning. The moment of the game brought to you by Frosted Flakes. Dylan Palmer's home run swing, the emotion and the gathering. The kids from the Northwest attempting. Nancy Prieto down there at first, our 2nd female umpire internationally of all time. All the emotion and intensity of not only the volunteer umpires, but the kids on the field.
Quintana rips a line drive, but right at McDonald. And runs, tags up and scores. Sacrifice fly. And a 4-run 6th inning here, making it 11-1, but Billings will bat. So back up at the plate. Let's see what he can do here is Hagen Danner. More hits than anybody in this Little League World Series. He's 3 for 3 today and a walk. And he'll be looking to try and put one up there on Little League Hill here with an 11-1 lead right now.
10 hits in 5 games.
Nick Prado's catcher.
Ball.
There's Nick.
Nick ready to come out. Let's see, he's got 3 pitches left. So he's got 3 bullets to go. And we saw Salzman warming up for a bit, even though we've speculated. Hit right straight up in the air, got under it. And Leatherberry takes it himself, so that'll do this. So that'll do it. Back after this message and word from our ABC stations. We welcome you back to the Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Bottom of the 6th inning. California 3 outs away from Japan. Remember, it is noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. 9 Pacific. We'll be on the air tomorrow. Breakfast with the Little Leaguers out in California. As Nick Prado has pitched a gem. There's a couple more pitches left here today. And Connor Kickbush will lead it off. Wonderful summer for Billings, Montana. Appears like it's coming to an end here with a loss against the youngsters from Huntington Beach, California in the championship game, but nothing to hang their heads about. There'll be a few minutes of sadness and then shake it off and go up there in that Little League dormitory and have a good time and get ready for the parade back in Billings. And that, I believe, is strikeout number 10 for the left-hander. He has been dominating. So Prado with 5 1/3, those 10 Ks. He also drove in 3 runs. Did a terrific job for his father's team. Gets his first baseman's mitt, I believe, or is that a fielder's mitt? I think
first baseman's glove.
Yeah. How about those smiling faces that await California tomorrow?
It's a little different team. Coach Suzuki, one of the youngest coaches we've ever seen, and he's brought relaxation and enjoyment to the field during the game. Same discipline during practice, but in game, it's all about the kids and fun, and he has let them have that. The 12th all-time appearance in the championship by Japan, second most by the international countries in Little League World Series history. You see Chinese Taipei at 20, and then the California team will be their 22nd appearance in the championship game, most by any state, and that's or country, and that's at 9 Pacific time, 12 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN 3D.
So Salzman is coming in. And how many can he throw here and still come back as a starter tomorrow?
He needs to stay under 20.
He has to stay under 20. So Cole McKenzie says, thank you for giving me a right-hander. But little fatigue set in with this Montana team when you watched them here today. Didn't quite have a good pitcher can do that to you, too. He can make you look pretty tired.
Braden Salzman has had a lot of responsibility for this California team, and that young man, Nick Preto, over there at first base, has been an outstanding Little League World Series. He won't be pitching tomorrow. He'll be resting, but he'll play in the field, especially with the bat that he showed again today.
Cole McKenzie ready to go back and play a little football. He's a quarterback back in Billings. And many of the youngsters told me they were looking forward to that season. And let's end it with a home run. Cole McKenzie shoots one out of here. Thank goodness he said I get to look at a right-hander. And what a wonderful moment for Billings to come out here in the last inning and McKenzie to rip one. There's one of the guys who helped get them to where they are here today. So a great high in the final inning for this team. Got it up too high, and he unloaded up on Little League Hill.
That ball was crushed out there, about 265 feet out there. We've lasered the hill and have approximations where they land up there.
That'll make them feel a little bit better here. And now stepping in, Ben Eskelson. He was the home run hero in the first game against California, and also stroked the 2-run double against Louisiana. So they beat South Dakota, Louisiana, California once. And now they're down 11-2 here with 1 out. So Kirk Busch not giving away. Said this is going to be it. We're getting 9 more right now. You rascals just think you got us. And they've got another base runner. Big Ben is on. Kirk Busch was right. Here we come.
A little slippery, hit it well, get a deflection. You never know. The home run was the first base runner by second base since the second inning when California made 2 errors on 1 play.
And here comes Andy Mail. See if he can keep this going. Billings youngsters, a lot of heart all summer long. Lost that early game 9-6, I believe, was the final score to Oregon. Came back and beat Oregon in that regional final. Haven't lost since that one loss to Oregon. And danger here, of course, of that streak coming to an end. What an ending for Cole McKenzie, huh? Inside corner, and that'll do it. California 1 out away from going to the championship game.
Last time California played Japan in the championship game was 1976. Tokyo won 10-3. It was Campbell, California they played. against Tokyo, Japan.
So here comes Pierce Kurth, first baseman. California fans ready to celebrate.
Yes, he went.
That's a strike, and dashing into second base is Askelson. On the pass ball. Thought for just a moment that he might have ticked it, but he did not. Now Braden Salzman, California, 2 strikes away. Now 1 strike away. Golden summer for Montana Little League. Maybe coming to an end, but what great memories Billings and the state of Montana have. This team will celebrate when they get home. 0-2 now and 2 for California, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. We'll do it again. He's at 13 pitches, so he's still very much eligible for tomorrow. Document it. You bet. We got all kinds of cameras over there now. Ready to flash away here. Pitch counts 14. So the fans from California are on their feet.
1 and 2. Play.
And staying alive is Pierce Kurth. With a big smile on his face.
Right down to the end. Having fun.
Go quietly.
7,000 teams, guys, started. You're down to the last 4. What an accomplishment.
Ball.
Now the runner will take third base. And that's a wild one.
Ball.
Just missing outside. Count goes full.
The smelly sneakers and the lucky tennis balls will get hung one more day.
17 pitches now for Salzman.
Ball 4.
And he walks it. 18 pitches. Now what do you do? Here comes Brock McDonald, and they're going to take him out because he, remember, we told you, it's a big possibility he's the starter tomorrow.
Jeff Prado's going to make a move.
Preserve him.
So pitch eligibility has 18, 1 through 20, no rest period required. So he will be ready to go tomorrow, and that's the reason they're taking him out. So they pretty much have named their starter, or at least reliever, but we were told that if they made it that far, he probably would be the starter against Japan. He'll see that those pitches were balls when he gets back and watches the tape tonight. He's frustrated now, but a lot of times as a pitcher, your head's moving as your foot lands and you launch the ball, and you don't see the strike zone as well as the umpire.
So Windish warms up. Trevor Windish is coming in here. He will be the 3rd California pitcher.
He's played at some exceptional second base during this game, been involved with the offense, and he's a strike thrower. They've got a lot of pitchers on this California team.
When you take a look at the championships that have been won by the different nations that have come in there, obviously Taiwan had that unbelievable run. The United States leads the way with 32. Taiwan at 17. Japan with 7. And once upon a time, Japan couldn't get here because of the power of the Taiwanese team. But now, the winner of the Japan Little League automatically comes to Williamsport. So there they are, and Japan awaits the winner of this game, and certainly that appears to be California. It's 11-2 is the score, and standing in there now is Brock McDonald, and he takes a strike. Windisch did not mess around, just fired one in there. And there's what he did in the West Regional in San Bernardino. Ground ball, and this is going to do it. California says hello to Japan. They win the United States Championship. So the youngsters from Huntington Beach prevail. Their only loss, 1-0 to Montana, and there's a team that can hold its head high. Went down battling in the last inning. They'll come out and congratulate the Conquerors from California. Now the youngsters from Montana are coming right toward him now. Became very good friends out in San Bernardino. Wonderful to see that. So the magical run for Montana comes to an end, and now it is this team from Huntington Beach, California, that will get a chance for a world championship tomorrow against a very, very good Japanese team. So reminder now, 9 o'clock Pacific time. We will have the game on ESPN. Be 12 o'clock here in the East. We'll take the air. And 9 o'clock out there on our Pacific Network. Japan and California will play for the Little League World Championship. And they went over, the California youngsters went over and applauded the fans applauding back. Really good buddies. Just a very nice gesture. And now they come over to their own fans behind the third base dugout. They can do the victor's dance now. They'll come out by the pitcher's mound. This is a tradition. When you win the international championship or the United States title, you receive the banner. And of course, what's interesting about this matchup tomorrow, Japan, the defending champion, and this team will get to see if they can beat them. And back in 2009, California won the title. So we'll be at Williamsport tomorrow, noon Eastern on ESPN, 9 Pacific, Japan, California, along with Oral Hershiser, Kyle Peterson, Mateo Arias, and our entire crew. I'm Brent Musburger saying from the Little League World Series of Williamsport, we want to thank all of you for watching. Nothing beats the drama of the little guys. See you at noon on ESPN.